the four universal laws that shape your reality and how to use them. There are forces guiding your life. They're not visible. You can't touch them, but you can feel them when you pay attention. These forces shape your relationships, your finances, your peace, or your stress. They determine the people you attract, the problems you repeat, and the growth you experience or resist. These forces are called universal laws. And once you understand them, you realize something deeply liberating. You were never powerless. You were simply unconscious. Inside the sovereignty paradigm, we explore four of these laws in particular, because they don't just explain life, they teach you how to live with power, clarity, and intention. These four laws are always working. The only question is, are they working for you or against you? Let's find out. The law of attraction. You draw in what you radiate. You've heard it before, like attracts like. But let's be honest. How often have you really examined what you're like? How often do you stop and consider the emotional energy that you're broadcasting? Because that's what this law responds to. Not what you say you want, not what you post on social media, but what you truly energetically radiate. So take a moment and ask yourself, what's been showing up in your life lately? Are you surrounded by chaos or clarity? Are your conversations full of complaining or purpose? Are your relationships nourishing or draining? Now ask, what is that reflecting about you? Because your outer world is a mirror of your inner frequency. We don't attract what we want, we attract what we are. Or more specifically, we attract what we believe and emotionally rehearse. So if your dominant belief is there's never enough, people can't be trusted, I'm not worthy of success, then no matter how hard you hustle, you'll find ways to subconsciously sabotage yourself just to keep your reality in alignment with that belief. That's the law of attraction. But here's the powerful part. You can change the signal. You can shift your focus. You can shift your beliefs. You can shift your vibration. And that changes what life delivers. So what thoughts do you repeat most often? What emotion are you practicing on a daily basis? Do you ever take time to ask yourself, what am I attracting right now? When something negative happens, do you stop and look at what energy you've been putting out? The law invites you to pause and ask, what am I radiating today? And is it aligned with what I say I want? Now, law 2, the law of cause and effect. You reap what you choose. Nothing in your life is random. Let me say that again. Nothing in your life is random. Every situation you're in right now, every opportunity or obstacle, every moment of peace or struggle is the result of a cause. A decision you made, a decision you avoided, a pattern you repeated, a belief you refused to challenge. The law of cause and effect is not mystical, it's mechanical. It simply says every action creates a reaction. Every thought, word, or deed sets something in motion, and eventually it comes back round. In the sovereignty paradigm, we see this not as a punishment or reward, but as a direct expression of responsibility. This law is not here to shame you, it's here to wake you up. If you don't like the effect, you must change the cause. So let's go deeper. Think about your finances. Are you where you want to be? If not, what causes have led you to your current results? Were you taught to manage money or to fear it? Did you make impulsive decisions instead of intentional ones? Have you been waiting on luck instead of planning with discipline? Now think about your health, your relationships, your self-worth. These areas don't just happen. They are constantly being shaped by small decisions you make or avoid every single day. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, what causes have I put into motion that led to where I am right now? What results in my life have I been blaming on other people? Where have I failed to take ownership for what I'm experiencing? This law demands honesty. It invites you to trace the line backwards from effect to cause. And when you do, something powerful happens. You stop blaming. You stop waiting. You start owning. I once worked with a man who constantly felt overlooked and undervalued. At work, at home, even in social situations. He kept saying, "People don't take me seriously." So I asked him, "What have you done that demands to be taken seriously?" And he paused. And what came next was a breakthrough. He had been quietly avoiding responsibility, hiding his voice, playing small, and yet expecting big recognition. The cause didn't match the effect that he wanted. So we changed the cause. He started speaking up. He started investing in himself. He started leading instead of waiting. And guess what happened? People started treating him differently because he was showing up differently. That's what this law invites you to do, to stop asking, why does this keep happening to me? And start asking, what part of me is causing this and what can I do differently today? Every day you're planting seeds. Every word you speak, every boundary you set or don't set is a cause. And the life you're living is the harvest. So what kind of life are you planting? Are you willing to start planning something better? Let's move on. Law 3, the law of vibration. Your frequency is your future. Everything in the universe is energy, and energy does not stay still. It moves, it pulses, it vibrates. This includes your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, your beliefs. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly vibrating, broadcasting the frequency into the world around you. And here's what most people never realize. You don't just attract energy, you tune into it. You sync with whatever you're most aligned with internally. That's what determines what you see, what you feel, what you create, not circumstances, frequency. So pause with me for a second. Right now, at this exact moment, what are you vibrating with? Stress? Doubt? Resentment? Or is it peace, clarity, and purpose? Because the emotional state you practice the most becomes your default frequency. And your default frequency becomes your lived experience. You could be taking all the right actions, but if your vibration is fear-based, you'll still attract fear-based outcomes. Think about people you've met who just light up a room. They may not be rich, they may not be loud, but their energy is undeniable. Now think about people who drain a room, the ones who carry anxiety like a cloud over their head, the ones who can make everything feel heavier just by being in a room. What's the difference? It's vibration. Energy doesn't lie. And the law of vibration reminds you that the world is responding to how you show up energetically, even more than what you say or do. This is where the sovereignty paradigm becomes vital, because vibration isn't fate, it's a choice. You don't raise your vibration by forcing positivity. You raise it by aligning with the truth, by clearing the internal noise, by choosing clarity over chaos, stillness over stress, intention over reaction. You raise your vibration by becoming more you without all the filters. So ask yourself right now, what frequency am I living at lately? Do I consistently feel light, grounded, expansive? Or do I often feel heavy, defensive, frustrated? And maybe, most importantly, do I know how to shift my energy when I'm spiraling low? You're not stuck at your current frequency, you just practiced at it. But you can change the channel. Here's how you start. Mindfulness. Take 5 minutes to just sit with yourself. No distractions, just presence. Gratitude. Write down 3 things each morning you're genuinely thankful for and feel it, not just list it. Movement. Walk, stretch, breathe deeply. Get the energy flowing. Environment. Clean your space. Tune out the noise. Light a candle. Create a setting that reflects peace. Honesty. Say what you need to say. Integrity is high frequency living. You are not a passive receiver of energy. You are a transmitter, a generator. You are the one holding the dial. And what you vibrate with today becomes what you live with tomorrow. So what kind of reality are you tuning into? And more importantly, what kind of energy are you choosing to send? Let's move on. The law of unity, you're not alone in this. You are not separate. That may be hard to believe sometimes, especially when you feel misunderstood, unseen, or unsupported, but it's true. You are not a disconnected piece of the puzzle. Everything in the universe is connected. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every emotion you carry, every action you take, it all ripples out. You are in constant relationship with life itself. The law of unity teaches us that there is no such thing as isolation, only the illusion of it. And in the sovereignty paradigm, we go further. We understand that your personal growth is not just for you, it's for everyone around you, even those who may never fully understand what you're doing. Because when one person rises, it creates space for others to rise too. Think about how one person's courage to speak up has inspired others to do the same. How one person's healing journey has helped a family break a cycle. How a single shift in emotional maturity can transform how a household communicates. That's not a coincidence. That's unity in action. You're already affecting others, whether you're aware of it or not. The question is, what kind of influence are you having? Ask yourself, how do people feel after spending time with me? What energy do I bring into a room? What do I model for my children, my partner, my peers, even strangers? Is your presence permission to be small, or is it an invitation to be great? You don't need a microphone to lead. You don't need a title to teach. You just need to live in alignment with who you really are, because authenticity has a frequency and it's contagious. You're part of something bigger than you. And at the same time, you are the starting point. When you become more sovereign, more whole, more grounded, more clear, you raise the standard not by telling others what to do, but by showing them what's possible. This is the paradox of unity and sovereignty. You are one with everything, but everything shifts when you do. So the next time you think your choices don't matter, that your habits, your healing, your voice are only about you, remember this. You're always contributing. You're always adding something to the collective field. Your energy is shaping the world around you, just like theirs is shaping you. There's no such thing as a neutral presence. You either lift the room or you lower it. You either break the pattern or you repeat it. You're already making a difference. The only question is, what kind? So let's talk about how these laws work together. Let's zoom out. These laws are not separate ideas. They're parts of a whole, a system, a blueprint for sovereignty and transformation. And when you understand how they work together, you begin to take control of your life in ways most people never even consider. They form a cycle. The law of attraction shows you what you're drawing in. The law of cause and effect shows you why. The law of vibration shows you how to shift it. And the law of unity shows you how your shift affects others. When you practice all four together, you stop reacting and start creating. You stop blaming and start choosing. You stop isolating and start impacting. This is the sovereignty paradigm. It's not a philosophy, it's a practice. It's a way of living that reclaims your power, your presence, and your purpose. So let me ask you again, what kind of life are you creating right now? What kind of energy are you living with and giving off? What are you causing, attracting, vibrating with, and contributing to? Because you're not powerless. You never were. You were simply unaware of the system you're living inside. Now you see it. Now you know. And with knowledge comes responsibility. With responsibility comes power. and with power comes possibility. Subscribe for weekly teachings that challenge and empower you. Download the free guide, The 3 Keys to Taking Control of Your Life. Join the Sovereignty newsletter at imperiumparadigma.com. Book a private coaching session with Dr. Sherman Rivers. Become the shift the world needs, starting with you. Peace.